What's going on, y'all? So listen. American Horror Story. This episode had me a little fucked up, okay? It was good. It was good. I was sitting here like, OMG. Okay, so it starts off, a couple of weeks before the election, the last presidential debate between Hillary and Clinton. Oop, nope. Between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And we see Winter and her two friends sitting down there talking about the whole thing and how they can't wait for Hillary to win, and can't nobody take his stupid self serious and all that shit. And she was one of the friends said, I think it's even more important, that that Hillary win than over Obama, because they only been fighting for civil rights for what, the past couple of hundred years or so, and we've been fighting for women rights for what, thousands of years. I said, bitch, what the fuck? What the fuck? Kai is over there on that little website, the deep web or whatever, the dark web, and he typed it on this little website, and he was like, I hope that he win just so they can shut these stupid bitches up. Now, I didn't want him to win, but I did agree with the part about shut these stupid bitches up. They stupid. Stupid as fuck. You know. So of course, he gets up in his feelings and he started talking to them about the whole thing and giving his opinion. And one friend started going off and was saying, "Oh, you just a little alt-right, and you know that you ain't got no pussy and all that stuff, and that's probably why you act the way that you act. And if Trump wins, I'll let you sleep with all three of us." And Winter was like, "Wait a minute, fuck, that's the no, we brothers and sisters." And she was like, "Exactly, he's not gonna win, so it's not gonna happen." And that's when Cal really gets in his feelings, because she started talking once again about the sex thing and how you notice that these alt-right boys ain't got girlfriends and shit like that. I said, you gotta look into that, because that's probably true, you know. But at this point, when she was just going off, she hit a nerve, and Cass slapped the shit out of her. So at this point, old girl said, "Bitch, I'm pressing charges." I said, "Uh-oh, there you go." I feel like Rox, I gotta stop that. Every time Rox be in her video, she be like, "Uh-oh," that shit makes me laugh. Anyway, but gotta get credit where credit is due, okay? Can't be taking nobody's stuff and not crediting them. Moving on from that, we see Kai going to a therapist. She talking about why you there, was talking about this Anat statue, about, she's the goddess of love and war, and he basically took from the story that she was telling him that, women be bitching all the time and tripping out for no reason, overreacting and shit. Bitch, why is the therapist BB? I said, Valerie Salinas, that's girl, scum. Okay, that is it. And somebody shout out to the person who was in the comments, and I think it was a few of y'all who said in the comments on the episode that we got introduced to her, and they would sit down on that couch together. They working in conjunction with each other, and we knew that because at the end of that episode, they both were sitting on the same couch at Kai's house, and they was just, kikiing it up. But we didn't get how did they come to actually work with one another. Bitch, Kai was on one level, lane, plane, or whatever, to doing some shit, but he wasn't on this plane in this track that he was on now. BB implanted the seed. I said, wait a minute, BB, what the fuck are you doing? BB had her own agenda, okay? BB was like, basically, she wants this stuff to be done for women, okay? Want women's voices to be heard. She told him, I'm an OG feminist. He was like, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just got to find your purpose. And your purpose is to get out here and to break this wall of rage or whatever, so that the feminists can come through, okay? Because that's basically what's going on. She was like, my favorite politician is Donald J. Trump, because he's an asshole and he's saying all this stuff that's building up all this feminist rage and everything. And I need a person like you to come in and to help break that shit down by doing your stupid shit and being a martyr for the cause, so that the women can rise up. And he is following along with, I said, so it's manipulation on both sides, all right? It is so, one one faction is manipulating the other one, okay? And the way she was explaining, I was like, you know what, bitch, where you going with this? But then when she got through with it, I was like, I see your point, but y'all doing a little bit too much. Y'all doing too much. It was like, you got to incite some fear so that the other side can come in and take down Kai's shit. That's basically what she wanted. let Kai come in there, build him up to be this egotistic maniac, psychotic, alt-right, Nazi loving, Donald Trump loving, pro-white type of person, supremacist, and the women to come through and everything else and knock him down, and the women would shine, and the feminists and all that stuff get the rights that they've been playing for all this time. And it was just, I said, oh wow. Because, when Cal was talking to the girl, she said, Hillary not gonna win because don't nobody like that bitch. And he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. People don't like Hillary as much as people want to think, okay? Um, People want to say she was the lesser of the evils. She kind of was, but very small. Very, very small, okay? Um, and you can say that because even if you would have voted for a third party, it still would have went to either them two. But Hillary ain't no better. But see, she better than Trump, all right? They both bullshits. But, we can get on that anytime, any day. But this ain't the video. And she had Kai talking about some, I'm a turd and he did it and all this stuff. And you got one purpose up in life, and that's to release the feminine rage and shit like that. And see, at this point, I was like confused. I said, well, if you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to release the feminine rage. But Chad, you out here disrespecting women and shit like that. You just don't give a fuck. It felt like he went off course. And kind of find out with these little cult leaders and stuff, drugs always play a part in it. All right. Jim Jones was on some stuff. The name of this episode is called Charlie Manson in Charge. Charlie Manson, we already know, did that stuff. Okay, they was on a farm and they was back in the peace, love, and all that stuff type of shit. And that's all they did was fucking psychedelics and shit like that, drugs. So we see back in the modern day, 2 weeks. Well, he was giving a little rally, Kai, and we see this girl who's doing a live stream about the whole rally. This black girl talking about no fascists, no hates, and all this stuff, and how we don't need a person like him being in office. And you see what he do, and he's disrespectful to women, and he's this, and he's trying to censor the internet, and all this shit. And so he's giving a little rally call, and they're the opposition going against him, and they start going in, and it's just so reminiscent of a lot of the rallies that happen out here. Is reminiscent of real life of what happened with the protests and stuff. And he got his men out. Next thing you know, they trying to protect Kai, but then shit start getting thrown. They trying to protect him and move him out the way, and he is not prepared for this. Okay, this is the one thing that he didn't think about. At one point, they was throwing shit, and Kai thought he was really protected, like they ain't gonna do nothing, until one of the motherfuckers came right up to him and maced him in the face. Okay, and it reminded me so much of one of them alt-right leaders who big on Twitter or whatever, who got into it with the Uber driver who said some racist shit and she kicked him out the car. Yeah. Who was on the way to Charlottesville. And when he actually got there and he got maced and all that stuff, and they showed him on the and he was getting the milk in his face and shit like that. That's what it reminded me of, okay? Next thing you know, we go back to Kai, and we see Kai and Allie coming out to the ice cream truck because the ice cream truck is going off because Winter was supposed to be cleaning it out, and she set the music off. It jammed up, and they supposed to be cleaning it out and changing it into, he said, sherbet orange. I said, sherbet. Sherbet? My grandma used to buy sherbet all the goddamn time when we was kids. Okay, that is such an old ass thing to me, sherbet. But anyway, chose to be saying changing it so that they can lessen the focus off of them, so nobody can find them and all this shit. So Allie is out there, and Winter was like, so I'm sorry about everything that's been going on. Did it hurt did it hurt Ivy and all that shit? She was like, what you talking about? My brother talking about some heat. She went over there to Paris or something for this cooking school or whatever, this cooking job. And I know him, and he lying and all this shit. And I was like, why the fuck would you you asking me this? Do you think I'm gonna tell you anything? Like, why should I care how you feel? Why should I accept your apology when you use my wife to single-handedly destroy me and my whole entire family? She was like, I know and all this shit, but my brother, He's crazy. She was like, bitch, do you ever take fucking blame for yourself? Do you take responsibility and accountability for your own actions? I was like, I mean, I get it, but he's my brother. And I thought, I had it under control, but he just going off the deep end. He's taking so many pills and shit, and he was losing his mind throughout this whole episode. He was tripping hard, okay? And at this point, Allie ain't here for winter bullshit, all right? And Allie looked up and said, how do you know that Kai is the one that did something to Ivy? I said, ooh. Allie then came into form in these last couple of episodes, and I am loving it. Come through, bad bitch. She said, like a phoenix rises from the ashes, here the fuck I am. I said, yes, you are. You know? And so the whole thing that happened and the reason why Kai was out there giving his rally, he was drumming up support because he's running for Senate and he's trying to get the office of this guy named, what is his name? Senator Anderson. And he was trying to make it seem like Senator Anderson is anti-life, pro-abortion, all this stuff. And, he's looking at the outcome of it on TV and they were speaking of it, and Anderson basically said, I ain't finna talk to nobody. The only blue hair motherfuckers that I talk to is blue hair old sweet ladies. That's it. This Kai guy, whoever the hell he is, you need to talk to the Department of Justice. That's who you need to talk to. So he is in his feelings because dude ain't really paying him no attention and not taking him seriously at all. So all of a sudden he was like, you know, he got to channel into the master. You see this shit, we got to do something about this. And it was like, I thought you was the masters. Now, bitch, was it just me or was I confused as to where did all the dudes come from? Because we just seen Kai sitting there. I thought it was a figment of his imagination. But obviously they was around the corner, and when that TV was on, they must have been there and we just didn't see it because they just popped up out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden he said, sleeping bags, boys. I said, oh my God, what is going on? They got so hyped. Oh my God, it's story time. I love story time. They jumping, they running to go get their sleeping bags and shit, pushing the furniture down and all that stuff. Gary just all into it too. Yeah, let's go. I'm like, Gary, sit your one hand ass down. This motherfucker made you, girl. And Gary is the epitome of how dumb and blindly someone can follow and be manipulated and don't give a fuck. Okay, and that's how a lot of these Trump supporters are, especially the ones in the backwoods, But moving on from that, they started giving this conversation. He started giving a story and recanting the whole thing about the Sharon Tate murder, Charlie Manson and who he was, Tex Watson and Lindy and all the other two, and they was reenacting the whole scene. And at first, it kind of confused me. I said, what are you doing? This girl did not go in there and see Abigail sitting on the bed and she said, hey, and then see Sharon Tate right there and texting them, talking to her like, hey, what's up? I said, stop it. But then next thing you know, we see them up in the living room and he about to put nooses and stuff on, hanging them and shit. And, we saw him killed. If you don't know the story about Charlie Manson, please look it up. It's very interesting. Like, that motherfucker had people killing for him, okay? And these people were blindly following him. And to this, like, he's still crazy and that motherfucker's still alive. This shit happened back in the 60s, late 60s, girls. And that motherfucker is still alive. And he's still on that bullshit. Okay? He, when you see in the show, when you see the actor that plays Kai, who also plays Charlie Manson in this show, and he put that swastika right there. Charlie Manson really did that in prison. He really did that. Okay, so of course, Kai gives his version of what happened, and we see him kill the guy in the driveway. We see them kill Abigail. We see them kill the other friend first, and then Abigail runs and he kills them, and then they kill the Sharon Tate, and she said, just let me have my baby. You can kill me after I had a baby. They said, fuck your baby. Charlie ain't say nothing about keeping no baby alive. They stabbed her, killed her, and then stabbed the baby. I said, oh my God. Which is what happened, okay? Roman Polanski came home and saw all of this shit going on. It was just crazy. I wouldn't want to live through that. I couldn't handle it. But, Sarah Paulson was playing the shit out of that character. And the girl, Winter was playing Linda. And Lindy was the one that, I guess, who just really wasn't here for all the stuff. She was supposed to be the little lookout, but I guess she, according to him, was the one that tricked or whatever. And so Kat is saying all this stuff and basically coming through trying to say we're about to have the reason why they did all this. They was gonna do this, call it helter skelter, leave their little signature behind, make it seem as if it was a race war because they put pig on the door, trying to make it a race war against some random black folks and the cops and stuff like that. But it didn't happen. That was what the goal was, okay? That's what the goal was with Charles Manson and all that shit, helter skelter. And they wanted to do the same thing. He was like, we're going to have a night. We're going to have a night of 1,000 tapes. I said, oh, my goodness. He said, one dead pregnant lady ain't going to do shit. We need 1,000 of them motherfuckers. I said, so what the hell y'all about to do? Okay, y'all doing some crazy shit. Next thing you know, we see them going to Planned Parenthood. Gary and Speedwagon and a few other dudes, they with him. They about to go to the front door. He got the monkey wrench to open up the door. It was like, why don't you go to the back? Okay, that makes more sense. It won't be so obvious or whatever. It was like, okay, cool. And I said, of course, they're going to go to Planned Parenthood because once again, the people who are for Trump and Trump is not for the Planned Parenthood and shit like that because of why? The abortions that happen. Mind you, this is the misguided and fucked up narrative that they put out about Planned Parenthood as if Planned Parenthood does nothing but abortion. Planned Parenthood, it has a very, very low single digit percentage of abortions that being happens, okay? But for some reason, that has been put on the spotlight and made it seem as if 95% of their business is doing abortions. And it is not, okay? It is taking care of humans, taking care of women and men, but mostly women and their health and, getting them diagnosed with a lot of things and stuff like that. Not just fucking abortions. But of course, they don't see that. That's all they see. They go in there. The whole goal was to go get the list to see who all, got scheduled to do an abortion, go find them and kill them, okay? That's what they was going to do. So they go to the back, they open up the door, and Gary goes in. Gary, dumbass, couldn't get out because they didn't close the door on him. While he going in the front, he trying to figure out what's going on. He see the clowns come out. He was like, bruh, why are you up in my suit? What the hell is going on? We see Kai comes downstairs. He said, divine ruler. I said, divine fucking ruler. He said, what the fuck did I do? He was like, you ain't do shit. Okay, it's what you gonna do now. You basically about to be a martyr, okay, for the cause. And you finna jump this thing off. He was like, what about the Nights of 1,000 Tates? I was like, oh, we about to do that. But you gonna have to play a role up in this shit too. He was like, whatever the hell you need me to do, I do. And it was like, okay, Cat kissed him on the forehead, they hug. And next thing you know, he was like, and then they went on ahead and started stabbing his ass up. A nurse was coming to the job in the morning. She dropped her coffee mug trying to get on her phone, and the mug was in some blood. This is when she notices that there is a trail of blood to Gary sitting out front of the, cops, not the cops, the Planned Parenthood. And on the door in his blood is saying slaughterhouse or something like that. I just said, no, it said stop the slaughter. She called the cops, of course. The breaking news is this whole killing stuff about what's going on. Kai's on the news, saying that it's Anderson's woke warriors who are against him who did this and, making false accusations and shit like that. But see, I don't even get a shit about what Kai was saying because we already knew that's what his agenda was. My thing was, he done shook the fuck out of Beverly's core, okay? Beverly's fucking wig was fucked up. It was just frizzled. It was frizzled, frazzled, and not bedazzled, bitch. I said, girl, you could at least patted that shit down. But she was literally talking. We are outside of the Planned Parenthood where we have seen some men get slaughtered. And, right now we have Councilman Tay. What do you want to, or Councilman Kai, what do you want to say about it? So are you saying that this happened? Do you feel like this? Mama was scared. And then Kat knocked that damn microphone out her hand and said, you can't be saying some shit like this and acting like you reading off a goddamn paper and shit like that. Get your shit together. Went to meet up with her and was like, I'm just concerned about how you acting. and all this shit. You should go away. She was like, bitch, how the fuck you gonna come up in here and talking to me after you done set me up? She was like, it was my only play. I'm sorry about that. It was like, after being put in the isolation chamber and then being psyched out my mind thinking I'm drinking poison Kool-Aid, how the fuck you think I'ma feel? And you think I'ma sit here and I'ma listen to you? She was like, girl, just take this. I want you to get out and I want you to get far away. Go to a place where Kai ain't gonna find you in Butte, Montana, okay? And here's a train ticket. It leaves at 6 o'clock. I telling you that it's on the up and up. I said, girl, don't trust that bitch, cause you just can't trust her because she, even if she telling the truth, you just don't know. So I was like, please don't take it, girl. Next thing you know, we see Kai going crazy about this bug. He was like, he kept on saying throughout the episode, these people are watching, the feds are out there, look at that van. And I was like, bro, you are going crazy. And he keep popping these pills. So he's searching the house and tearing up the basement for a bug and all that shit. He go up there because he keep on hearing this buzzing noise. Allie is like, I don't hear shit. He goes into his parents' room and all of a sudden he see Vincent on the bed. Dead Vincent, he's hallucinating about talking to him, getting some information from him. Then Charlie Manson comes in and filling his mess up with some stuff. Then he finally comes out the room and Allie said, here's the bug that you was looking for. And it was a bat. I said, bitch, that ain't no goddamn bug. That's a fuck. I knew right off the bat that's a battery, okay? I seen the battery and how a Fitbit battery look. I said, that is a battery to a Fitbit, bitch. Okay, because we got one up in here. I said, what? Allie, what are you doing? Playing it into this shit. Because at one point, Winter told her later, you can't be playing into his delusions and shit like that. But later, he told her, okay, can't nobody be trusted. I knew it. It was like these bitches out here just playing me and shit like that. Um, he go downstairs, BB downstairs, and was like, listen, bitch, what the fuck is you out here doing? Slap the shit out of him. It was like, you out here being weak as fuck. You out here going against the grain, okay? This ain't what it was supposed to happen. You out here enraging everyone. You supposed to have it so that the feminists can come through. You out here just fucking up the plans and shit. At one point, she started talking about being a protege of Valerie and all this shit. And once she slapped him down because he said some shit, like, girl, you thought I was really finna go with what you said? No, this shit is for me, okay? This is what I'm doing. And when she slaps his ass down, she pulls out a gun and said, bitch, you shut the fuck up before I shoot your dick off, okay, and then kill you. This is what I gotta say, or something. Next thing you know, before she can even, I said, go ahead and shoot his ass, BB, BB, take me higher. Y'all remember BB? And if you know where that come from, put it down in the comments, all right? You a real one if you know who that is. But I wonder what the T was on that, okay? But because BB ain't no longer there. Anyway, so all of a sudden, here comes Allie and shot BB in her head before she can do anything to Kai. And I said, damn it. What the hell is that? Kai was like, who is, Allie said, who the fuck is that? Oh, that's just my anger management counselor. She ain't doing a good damn job. So after this, Kai's getting a haircut. Winter is cutting his hair. Winter is shaving him. He allowed Winter to shave him. And I was like, you trust him? It was giving me, after he shaved the hair and then he was putting on the shaving cream and stuff and was talking about, how she was with her first haircut and how he shaved his hair first and then let her get her hair so that she can know that it was okay and all this shit. And he was saying how he know how she looks when she's about to laugh. She know everything about him, about her, and her moves and all this stuff, and he loves her, and they the only thing that they got. They talking like this when she was about to shave him, and then she was like, all I could say was, tilt your head back. From Color Purple. That's all I was getting. I said, hey, oh, hey. I can't do the other thing because my throat ain't there right now. But there you go. I give y'all a little bit. I was like, oh my God, don't kill his ass, but kill his ass. That's what I thought was finna happen. It was just giving me all type of tease like that. And, they was basically talking about loyalty. She said she needs to get away from him so that she can be there for him at the end when everybody else leaves, because he was like, everybody once they get what they want from you, they gonna be gone and you gonna be left with nobody, and we two are the only two that's left in our family right about now, and we do need each other. I do love you, but I am terrified of you, because he was like, I feel you pulling away, and she said, because I am. All right, because every time I see you, I see terror, and for us to get that closeness back, I need to leave so I can come back and be close to you. And he was like, okay, cool, you can do that. Even though when he was talking to her, she was shaving him right here, he turned his head, which caused him to nick himself. Okay, not her, but it was because the way he turned his head, it nicked him, and so he was like, all right, and I know exact place. She got her all up in her feelings and was like, oh my God, you're gonna let me go? And he was like, yeah, sure. Gave him a hug, and it was all sentimental and shit. It was like, I got a place where you can go to. And it was like, where? Butte, Montana. I said, oh shit. Winter realized that, you onto some stuff. Winter, you did all this stuff trying to protect Kai and you playing the fence, and this motherfucker still played you. Okay? At the end, he was losing his mind, had them sitting down there um, in a circle, and was questioning and trying to get Winter to say that she was the mole and all this shit, and she never would admit it because she wasn't the mole. And it was like, you wouldn't say this. Allie came out and said, what about this? She said, what is that? Bitch, that is the battery to my fucking Fitbit. What are you talking about? And then Allie pulled out a recorder and was like, bitch, you set this shit up. Okay, that's what it is. You set this up and you doing all this stuff to get back at me and, for fucking around with Ivy. And she was like, girl, this ain't got shit to do with that. You out here playing your brother. You don't believe in the cause and the divine ruler and all this shit. Next thing you know, Cass choked her ass out. I said, well, good goddamn. Choked her out, crying and all this shit. And in the background, you see Speedboat, or is it Speedwagon, Dirtbag, whichever. He just back there. Some of them was putting their heads down, but he was squirming a little bit too much for my taste. I said, oh, so now you feeling some type of way, okay? When they finish, when Winter was dead, did you notice how Beverly was just standing there like this? I mean, she had it coming. Okay. After that happened, of course he was hallucinating with Charlie Manson being there. Speedwagon goes out, he's running to his car, he gets in there, and then he started opening up his shirt and he pulls out a fuck. Well, I said, bitch. So there really was a mole up in that motherfucker. And it was Speedwagon. And as soon as he thought he got rid of the stuff and broke the recording and shit like that, and he was in the clear trying to catch his breath, Allie gets into his car and said, hello, Speedwagon. I said, uh-oh, shit, bitch, you caught. And that's how it ended. Next week is the season finale. How do y'all think it's gonna end? Okay, do y'all think they're gonna take Kai down? Who gonna take Kai down? I know he's gonna be in jail, but do you think it's gonna stick, or what's gonna happen? Tell me, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.